and responsibilities stuff this is the stuff that I want to share because I think it's really, really important. So I talked about leaving like garbage out, okay? We talk about rights. That was the last part of this unit, was rights. Here's what you're allowed to do. You're allowed to say anything you want. Once you recognize that you can do essentially anything you want, as long as you're not hurting anyone's life, liberty, or property, you can do whatever you want. That's the idea of freedom. That's the idea of liberty that our founding fathers had proposed. Once you can do anything, you have to decide what to do. Once you can do anything, then what do I do now? What now? I can do anything? So what do I do? That's the anxiety that's causing you guys. Like, what do you want to be when you grow up? The reason you have anxiety over that question is because you people, you can do anything. You want to be a lawyer? Cool. You want to be a stay-at-home mom? Sure. Okay. And I can say stay-at-home mom literally about like the dudes in here too, because it's 2023 and who knows what gender is. So like you can literally be anything you want to be. So when you have that, you get a little anxious because it's like, oh man. But if you were in like a tribe, it's like, well, I have to do what my father did, or I have to do what my mother did, or whatever it is. The expectations were lower. So rights. You have all these rights. We talked about the rights. Your civil liberties, civil rights. Okay, good. Now, what do you do? That is your responsibility. You can do anything, so what should you do? And we have to form some sort of hierarchy, because why do you do anything is because doing something is better than doing nothing. So whatever you do at any moment in your life is better than your other options. That's just the way, whether you are aware of it or not, you're choosing to be in this classroom because for one reason or another, you view sitting in this class listening to me talk as the best option you have for at the moment. Bullshit, Mr. Roos, I'd rather be in Malibu. No, you wouldn't. Go to Malibu then. Well, no, because I'll get in trouble. Right. There's consequences, right? There's consequences. You can say anything you want. So why aren't you just spouting off the N-word in the middle of the street? Well, because I might get punched in the nose and lose friends. Right, right. So you can do anything you want, but weighing on all of the criteria and the variables, you're choosing to be in here, okay? So you take the responsibility to make these different decisions based on the different hierarchies. So there is an assignment on Schoology about this, and I'm going to talk about it in a moment. But in civics, responsibilities are going to get cut up into two things. One is civic duties, one is civic responsibilities. Civic duties are the things that you're supposed to do, like responsibilities, but there's a caveat on it. There is a repercussion if you don't. Okay, so these are things like obey the law, pay taxes, defend the nation, jury duty, and attend school. If you don't do those things, there are consequences. If you don't go to school, you get in trouble. If my kids don't go to school, I get in trouble. Okay, if I don't obey the law, I get arrested. Right? If I don't pay taxes, I get arrested. If I don't serve the nation, like during the Vietnam War. What's his name? Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was the top heavyweight champion boxer, the top boxer in the world. He lost 2.5 years of his prime because he refused to go sign up for selective service, sign up for the draft. Even though he probably wasn't going to go, he just took a moral stance. He said, I'm not going to do that. So they stripped him of his ability to box for 2.5 years in his prime. So these are the duties that you have to do. If you don't, there are repercussions. You skip jury duty, you get in trouble. On the other side are the things that there are no repercussions for. So this is like be informed, vote, respect others, tolerate diversity, contribute to the common good and stuff like that. What if you don't do that? Nothing really, no formalized repercussions for this. So the ones on the left are the ones that you're like, well, I better do this. It's the same reason of like, if I said like, come to class, but if you don't come to class, there's no penalties whatsoever, the class might start to thin out. Okay? Because now there's weight on you to drive you towards doing something. And if we didn't have that weight, would people pay taxes? We know that with the Articles of Confederation. The first governing document of America was like, you have to pay taxes, but if you don't, there's nothing we can do about it. So surprise, surprise, no one paid taxes, right? Same thing, please come to jury duty. It's like, no. All right, then don't. Okay, so some things are going to be punished and some things are going to be unpunished if you don't do them. But responsibilities. In philosophy, it's often called moral responsibility. Possible thought exercise to consider. I think this is stuff that I think is pretty valuable. Okay, self-esteem versus self-respect. The self-esteem movement happened in like the 1990s. This whole idea of how do you feel about yourself is self-esteem. Is self-esteem, how do you feel about, do you like yourself is self-esteem. Now, is that the same thing as respect yourself? No. Think about not just yourself now, think about someone else. What's the difference between someone you like and someone you respect? Like, what's the difference? Design, what do you think?
I think that Someone you like is somebody you're kind of like excited to be around, or
Okay.
someone you want to be with because they make you feel good in a way.
Okay.
And then both scientifically, like endorphins are released when you're with this person. Somebody you respect is somebody you look up to for certain things. You don't necessarily have to like them, but you look up to them in certain ways. Aspects about them, not necessarily the person as a whole, but things they've done, things they've been able to do, or things about them.
You might respect your coach but not like him. Yeah, Julie, what do you think? Let's flush this out because there's clearly a difference. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, maybe a fear thing. Fear gets respect. Yeah, you respect the porcupine more than a squirrel. Yeah. If there's a squirrel running through here, people are like, ah! But if there's a porcupine, it's like, oh, shit, I'm getting away, right? Because respect is the element of fear. Yeah, well, which one's better? Would you rather be not hate or love, or hate or feared is like a Machiavellian thing? Would you rather be feared or hate, or feared or loved? You know, which one motivates people more? Machiavelli basically said the best is to be both. That's the ideal. The ideal is like if you're a boss, that people fear you, but they also love you. That's the best. So you to be feared and loved. That's kind of the thing I'm going for with my own kids. Is like they're scared of me if I get mad, but they also like love me. Okay, that's the ideal. But if you have to pick one, you pick feared. Fear is more of a motivator than love. It just is. Okay, so that's what it seems like. But what about? Would you rather be liked or respected? Would you? Because then whatever that is, then you can do that with yourself. Would you rather like yourself or respect yourself? And that's an interesting thing. Now you say respect, it sounds better, but what does it take to earn respect compared to what does it take to be liked? It's a lot easier to be liked, right? I would assume it's easier to be liked. No?
I feel like being liked and being respected kind of go hand in hand.
They can.
Being respected and being liked don't. Like, I feel like if you're liked, you're probably going to be respected. But if
Is that true?
you're not necessarily liked.
Let's challenge that. I don't know. I mean, is that true? Can you guys?
I might be wrong.
No. But you're taking chances, which is what I want you guys to do. Like, this isn't sorted out. This is all of us kind of thinking about this. And this is something that, like, oh, what's the answer? Let me Google the answer. It's not like that. This is something that you have experienced in the world because you have liked people and you have respected people. You have respected people you don't like. And have you liked people that you don't respect? Like who? Give me like, don't say their name. Bobby, right here, that kid. Like, but like, who? Like, what kind of? Some teachers. You like because they're so easy, maybe. Yeah. Right. Yeah. 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 Like again, it comes down to an ease thing though. Like so let's look for let's look for the pattern. Let's hold on one second. Like let's look for the pattern then. Again, is it easier? And because it's easier, we don't admire that. You don't put posters on your wall of people who took the easy way out, typically. You're not like, oh, that guy had an easy route. She had an easy route. She had an easy life. That's something I admire. We don't admire easy, really. We admire difficulty. We admire people that step up and slay the dragon, not the ones who go, I'm not going near that dragon. I'm going this direction. That's not the hero. The hero is the one who is courageous. And by definition, courageous means that there's fear between you and doing what's right. So we admire that. We admire the hard work. We don't admire the easy. Yeah, Olivia, what do you think? Mm-hmm. Okay. What about my 2-year-old? My 2-year-old, Mac is his name. I love him and I like him. He's fun. Do I respect him? No, I don't respect him because he's not cognizant. He's not, as a Descartes would say, he doesn't think. Therefore, he isn't because he's not self-aware. He's not. Yeah. Yeah. Right. But there could be someone with severe mental handicaps. You know, I used to volunteer all the time at because I was like a weird, like single man in my 20s. I would go to like old folks' homes and hang out with old folks. They're just like my people, like old ladies and stuff like that. And I liked being around them. Some of them I respected, and some of them I didn't. They were so ornery and pissed off and angry about the world and stuff like that. So it was funny, but I didn't like respect what they've achieved. Some of them I did, some of them I didn't. So little kids, people that don't have the ability to, something like that. Yeah, Julie, anything else? Keep your hands up, I'll call. Of course. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean that's the risk. If it's like, oh, I'm liked, I can take advantage of them. That happens all the time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What do you think? Oh, all these A names. Ariel, and then I'll get to you, Atara. Yeah. Nice guys finish last, right? Let me just address that, and then I'll get to you. The nice guys finish last thing. This is a little bit of a tangent, but we have some time. Here's the thing about nice guys finish last. That's not really what it is. What it is that the characteristics of someone who is nice fall into the characteristics. Is why your social science class. Okay, so let's learn about society. It's not that girls don't like the nice guy. They don't like that the nice guy typically has other features about him that are unmasculine. And women want some level of a masculine man. And to the degree that the nice guy is not, if a guy is very masculine, he takes full responsibility, he is courageous, he has all these capabilities and stuff like that, and he's nice on top of it, that is not a turnoff typically to women. In addition to the nice guys finish last thing, part of why girls like bad boys, maybe some of you girls like bad boys, okay? And you don't probably know why. I've kind of got it down for you, and this isn't completely fleshed out, but this is something that whether you recognize or not, you're like, oh, there's something kind of true to that. Girls don't like the bad boy. They like a reformed bad boy that they reformed. They want a guy who cheats on every girl and doesn't cheat on her. They want a guy who treats everybody terribly except for her. So why is that? Because girls, ladies, sorry to read your mind a little bit here, and it's not everybody, these are generalizations, but you want to feel uniquely special. Okay, so women, in the sea of women, okay, you want to stand out as being something uniquely special. What can make you uniquely special? Well, if this man treats all of these people terribly, but you differently, that makes you inherently different than the rest of the crew. So for young men go, oh, girls like bad boys. So even though I'm a really nice guy, I'm going to act like an asshole to her so that she starts liking me. And it's actually a roundabout way. What you really have to do is help that girl to feel uniquely special. And if you do that, it kind of supersedes all the stuff about being an asshole out in society. But the third reason why girls like bad boys is because the same aggression that it takes to be like a bad boy takes to be a superhero. Is if you think about like a Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is a perfect story of a beast. This guy is a savage, okay, who is rough. And then she changes him into a perfect, handsome prince. But he has the capability, when wolves are trying to eat her, he has the ability to stop those wolves. So the beast has to come out in a protective manner because, ladies, again, riding your genetics, you want to be protected. Whether you recognize it or not, it's in you, as a generalization, it's in you to want to be protected. Well, the nice guy who is harmless, you say, oh, that's safe. It's not safe when wolves are attacking you. A harmless man is not safe when there is a danger upon you. So you don't want a harmless man. You want a man that is a protector, and that takes strength, that takes aggression. If you want to grab a wolf and rip it apart like Beast does in that film, you have to risk it's really confusing for young women because they go, oh, well, this has the capability to to protect me in these really aggressive ways. Well, that means he also has the ability to become like a domestic violence abuser in those ways too. And that's really tricky. So a lot of women go, I don't want to risk the good with the bad, so I'm going to go with the harmless man, but the ideal. Every single, whether it's like 50 Shades of Grey or whatever, all these like romance novels, the brooding vampire movies, take every romantic story that women line up with, romantic story for women, it's always the guy who is bad and she makes him good. That's the story, because he is capable of terrible and he does good. That's what you want. So guys, you can do what you want with that, but that's pretty accurate actually. Okay, now on to self-love versus self-discipline. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I skipped you. I apologize. Yeah, I got caught up in these rants. Yeah. Yes.
I think it's hard to respect yourself because you're talking about respect people challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I can't respect myself unless I like myself, and that goes through the challenges. If I'm like,
Okay.
if I naturally take the easy way out, and like I eat unhealthy, and then I can't love myself for doing stuff like that, and then I won't be able to respect myself. If that makes sense. If I stop eating unhealthy and I start eating healthy and then I'm disciplined, then I'm able to respect myself for doing something. I think they go.
Okay, well let's flesh that out a little bit. The concept of self-love is very popular right now. Love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. That's really, I just learned how to love myself. And guidance counselors and stuff will be like, you're great the way you are. You're wonderful the way you are. I think that's a really damaging message for young people. The reason is because you might feel like shit. You might feel really, really low. Pardon my language. You might feel really, really low. But to be told you're great the way you are, like, I'm not doing well, Mr. Guidance Counselor, therapist, teacher. I'm not doing well. So for you to tell me that I'm great the way I am, I think a message, the one that I'm trying to give you guys, is you're not perfect the way you are. You could be way better. Way better. All of you could be way better. That is a hopeful message. That's not saying that you're not all good. That's not meaning that there's no good in you at all. There's a lot of good in you. You're very, very good, but you're not all good. Because if you're all good, that means you're a finished product. Is this the finished product that you want to be? When you're an old man like me and you're 41 years old, do you want to be the same person or do you want to be better? I'm hoping you're way better than you are now. I'm hoping you're better than me. I hope. That's the hope. I want my kids to supersede me in everything. That's the goal. So for you to be told that you're all good the way that you are now is setting you up for like, why strive to be better? You're 17, 18 years old. You should be very selfish right now thinking, how do I become the best version of myself? Because when you reach the best version of yourself or have that as your aim, then you can go out and serve. You can be a great wife and husband, mother, father, sibling, child. You can be a great leader. You can be a great, boss. You can be a great employee. You can't be great at the things you want to do unless you are the best version of yourself. So like, you're not great right now is a better frame for you than you're great right now. Because then it's like, well, where's the growth? How am I going to get better? And you guys are great. You guys are really, really great. But if you tell yourself, like, I'm great, then you're not going to get better. And the goal should be for you to constantly try to get better so that you can go out into the world and be super equipped to do that. But this self-love movement is not going to do that. It's like, I'm not great. I'm addicted to pornography and video games, and I screw around and scroll on social media for hours at a time. Like, well, fix it. Fix it then. Like that, but you're not great if that's the stuff that you're doing in your free time. Could you be better? Would you be better if you watched less pornography? Yeah, probably. Okay, well then have that at least as an aim. Have that at least as an aim. You watch less nonsense on social media. That's at least an aim for you to be better. And if you get that out of your life, you'll be better. And then that's the message that should be going out to young people more. And I don't think it is. That's also why I wanted to record this. Is like, that's the point. Is like, I think a lot of people are just being told you're great the way you are. And then they look at what they do and they're like, why do I feel so crappy then? Why am I riddled with anxiety and depression then? It was like, because you're not. You could be way better. And as you get better, those things will be mitigated. Those things will be crushed a little bit. All right, some people had hands up. Yes, Tim. Please, yeah.